Buff Nation? Welcome into DNVR Buffs Prime Time. We're presented by Legal Pete's, everyone's go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beers.
I want some so bad.
I thought about going today.
Could we just make plans to get lunch at Pete's tomorrow?
I'm going with Parker tomorrow because he owes me Pete's, actually, if you want to come with us.
I have a morning meeting with Parker and then I'm free. Yay. Are we podcasting tomorrow's Ryan back from twerking?
Ryan is supposed to be back tomorrow.
Wow, that's incredible.
Last I heard.
Huge news.
Yeah. How are you doing, Dre?
Amazing.
Good.
Feeling great.
Love to hear it.
Yeah, sounds like not a ton of news in around Buff Nation. Maybe some news around the NCAA.
There's some NCAA news. There's just enough news to keep Buff Nation on their toes and kind of freaking out. But
I love it.
Gonna reemphasize, we're okay. We're gonna be okay.
Always.
We're gonna be okay.
Fantastic day to be alive.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into it then.
Hell yeah.
Jordan Seaton, man.
Whoo!
We've talked about this guy quite a bit.
Yeah.
And he is the top uncommitted player in the 2023 recruiting class.
I know.
Or 2024 recruiting class.
I know.
He is had interest with CU. Has officially visited. I think he's been back twice, actually.
Uh-huh. They made his top 7.
Made his top 7.
Which I could mention is still a pinned Instagram post.
Yes, it is.
Unlike his top 6.
Well, yes. To get to that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to jump the...
Well, let's... I want to walk everyone through this whole thing first.
Yes, it's the oral history of the Seaton recruitment.
Just the last few days, really.
Yeah.
So Friday, he got everyone on their toes, excited that he was perhaps going to drop a commitment.
Oh, we almost went long on the podcast.
We did go long on the podcast.
It dropped while you were on TDSP, the Denver Sports Podcast.
Yes.
Great appearance by you, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But I also think that there's an inkling in my mind that he might have been waiting for us or something, because it was literally right when the show ended, this news comes out.
Yeah. And what was Jake, this news must have been huge.
It must have been massive. He just went in an OV to Ohio State.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had a great weekend, apparently.
Oh, right. Would you believe it? This visit went well for this highly coveted 5-star recruit. I'm shocked. I thought it might have not went well, actually. Just a visit on campus where everyone's kissing your ass and potentially committing NCAA violations. I'm shocked that went well, and he had a good time. That's crazy.
He did have a great time.
Which, again, pretty rare. That doesn't just happen on every single visit that every 5-star ever goes on. I just want to be clear.
So, and then he had like this Rivals interview where he said, look, I want my next school to be realistic with their expectations. He literally said, don't tell me you're 4-8 and you want to win a national championship.
Whoa.
He said that. Then on Friday, when all this is going down...
That sounds like shots, Jake.
It kind of does sound like shots.
Yeah, I don't like that.
We're just trying to talk through the history here.
Totally.
We'll break it all down after.
Right. Okay, I'll hold my commentary for later. Thank you.
So, on Friday, when all this is going down, before he announces the visit, though, there's an Instagram page, one of these CFB transfer portal pages or whatever, puts out that Jordan Seaton is going to commit to Colorado.
Right.
That does not happen. Then yesterday, Hayes Fawcett, whatever his name is, Grass Sink, whatever you want to call him, puts out a top 6 announcing Jordan Seaton's commitment will be on Thursday, but there's no CU. It is a top 6 now.
CU has been omitted by the top 6.
Yes.
Which I remind you is not a pinned Instagram post, unlike his top 7.
Well, and then today, he speaks to Chad Simmons, On3's like lead recruiting expert, whatever, about the visit at Ohio State. And he says the biggest highlight for me was the position availability they will have next year. What school has a bigger position availability on the offensive line than the University of Colorado?
Come on now.
What is going on?
Okay.
So,
That article comes out after the new top 6 announcement graphic.
That came out today.
But Colorado still talked about as one of the schools that is in the mix, and even mentions visited with him this week, Jake? Do I have that correct?
So Steve Wiltfong, 247 Sports, like national recruiting director, today puts out an article. And apparently all these schools have traveled to IMG to personally meet with Seaton, including Colorado.
Yeah.
So where are we right now? Truthfully, I don't know. Just going to be straight up. I don't know.
Awesome. I like that.
But
I'm pulling up the IG page now.
Here's the thing.
Yes.
When it comes to Coach Prime and players who have been heavily recruited, there have been they've been a little extra at times. Travis Hunter straight up flipped from Florida State to Jackson State on his signing day. Didn't even have Jackson State in his top schools. Just fooled everyone. Cormani McClain. Last year, Miami coaches were headed to Lakeland High School to do an on-site visit with him, and he was nowhere to be found because he was on his way to Colorado to meet with Coach Prime and the Buffs coaching staff. And eventually he ends up committing to Colorado.
Yeah.
Could this be another situation? I don't know. But I'm just saying, for these 5-star top recruits, it gets a little weird sometimes.
It does. And surprise and shock and awe, it's part of the game.
It is.
And we love it.
Of course.
We love it. It's great content. The best content, in fact. And I like how you've connected the dots with Travis and Cormani and how that's played out.
Yeah.
The surprise element is something.
If that's what you want to call it. I think these kids just like being recruited.
Yeah. They like feeling the love.
Yeah.
They like feeling the love.
So, I don't know. I mean, people have pointed out Charles Lester. I know that didn't exactly go out how like the Buffs way and stuff like that.
Sure.
But this is what happens with 5-star recruits. It's always just a little extra. Yeah, maybe they like the surprise factor, or maybe they just like being heavily recruited. Either way, this is what it takes to get a 5-star player.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's like a superstar in the NBA or big quarterback trade or something. It's tough. You got to rough through it. And the announcement will be December 7th.
December 7th.
Thursday, we shall know.
That is Thursday. We will have all of our questions asked, presumably. Hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see. Who knows when on the 7th? Post-pod? Pre-pod?
It's a great question. I don't know. I don't think they posted a time. I can double check right now. But the fact of the matter is, whether it's 6 or 7 schools, Jordan Seaton set to commit December 7th. Doesn't have a time. Just says December 7th.
What are your vibes, Jake?
My vibes?
Like, can we read some tea leaves here? I know you just said don't. You know, like, you honestly don't know what's going on at this point.
I think that we should just... There's no reason to be too emotional about this until Thursday. As I just laid out, like, everything that he's done the last day has kind of hinted to me that CU maybe not be completely out of it. If they're having them go visit him at IMG, if he's saying about the Ohio State visit, I want to play early, basically, they have a big need, I could be there, why would you not feel the same at CU? A team that, mind you, has a quarterback. Their starter has not entered the portal. The coach isn't like on the hot seat. We can put hot seat in quotes if you want for Ryan Day, but I don't know. I feel like I'd rather be Coach Prime in Colorado than I would Ohio State and Ryan Day right now. Just saying. They've lost a lot in the portal too.
Oh, I mean, lots of turnover everywhere right now. How much do you think having offensive staff figured out could help, hurt, neither?
So, again, just looking back at everything that's gone on the last few months, I feel like Jordan Seaton's interest has only grown despite this coaching instability or whatever.
Okay.
Because he visited, I think, that weekend before all the Sean Lewis stuff went down, writing was pretty much on the wall at that point that Bill O'Boyle was going to be gone, which he's officially gone now. Happened yesterday. We'll talk about that. Mm-hmm. But I think he just likes Prime, and I think he likes the setting that he could potentially be walking into to start right away and play for Shedeur Sanders and Coach Prime.
Very interesting. Thank you for sharing your insights.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
I'm always here to listen. Anytime you need to talk, I'm here, buddy.
So this is my read on the whole situation. Is just, let's play it a little cool here. Let's act like we've kind of been there before, because we kind of have.
It's true.
We went through it last year with Cormani.
It's true.
Those of us, or those of you guys who have followed Coach Prime over here, like they went through it with Travis at Jackson State.
Uh-huh.
So let's just relax a little.
I can't wait for Thursday.
It's going to be an exciting day.
I really can't wait. I guess I'm ready to have my heart broken.
I mean, it's sports. What's sports a little heartbreak every now and then?
It's the best.
That's why we keep coming back.
Be emotionally invested.
Exactly.
It's the best. 100%.
All right. Moving forward.
Yes.
First shout out to our friends at Circa.
Hell yeah.
The beautiful, wonderful Circa Resort out there in Las Vegas. It's got stadium swim, 4,000 person capacity. Basically just this massive pool with these massive television screens where you can just go hang out, watch sports, and lounge all day.
Sounds like
it's amazing.
Actual heaven.
Well, if that's not heaven, the sports book there is, because it's one of the biggest and coolest sports books I've ever seen.
That is.
They've got over 500 rooms, all state of the art. If you're heading out to Vegas for Broncos, Raiders, Avs, Knights, Pac12, or Mountain West alum, book your stay with code DNVR20, and you can get 20% off. Also, check out the Circa Sportsbook that's available in Colorado. You can download the app today at circasports.com. Bless you.
Bless you.
Circa Sports bets can only be made while physically located in the state of Colorado. Must be 21 or older. All rights reserved. Circa Sports Colorado encourages you to gamble responsibly. Gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit problemgamblingcolorado.org.
Doing a giveaway right now with Circa.
There you
can
go.
Sign up and win yourself a trip out to Vegas and, party with Ryan at the tailgate and do all sorts of stuff for the Broncos Raiders game. So really cool deal.
Ryan has not entered the portal, by the way.
No, he would never. He's a buff for life.
He will be here, literally be the last one here.
100%. Like, you think some of you guys might be here just for Coach Prime. He's here just for the Buffs.
Yes.
Like, he's stuck. He's stuck, no doubt.
And then also shout out to our friends at Breckenridge Distillery.
Let's go.
Founded in 2008, most widely known for their blended bourbon whiskey. It's a high rye mash American style whiskey. Breckenridge Bourbon is one of the most highly awarded craft bourbons in the U.S. Come hang out with us at the DNVR bar. We've got tons of Breckenridge Distillery. We also got those Reiki seltzers. Those are pretty awesome.
Everyone's
made with
buzzing
Breckenridge
about
spirits.
those.
They're great, man.
Yeah.
Come through to one of our tailgates too. I think we only have 2 Broncos tailgates left. Only 2 home games left.
Crazy.
This football season flew by.
It comes and it goes so fast.
So unfair.
So fast. Oh,
so unfair.
It's crazy.
Anyways, Breckenridge Distillery products are available in all 50 states. Shop your local retailer or visit BreckenridgeDistillery.com for home delivery of award-winning Breckenridge spirits. Opera anywhere? Opera anywhere.
Oh, you
almost had it. Shit. We'll try again tomorrow. All right.
Wow.
Coaching staff stuff.
Yeah.
We know Sean Lewis is going to be the next head coach at San Diego State.
Absolutely.
He's gone through all the introductions, all the interviews.
Yep.
And then yesterday, I guess he had some other press conference or something. Anyways, he said Bill O'Boyle's coming over.
Okay. How do we feel about that? Former O-line coach, that was the official title.
Colorado's offensive line coach last year.
Okay.
He's out officially. I think there's a lot of people who wanted to hear this news. And I think we've been telling people this for weeks now that this is going to happen, basically.
Yep.
The writing was on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. again, doesn't seem like there's too many Jordan Seaton connections, or the who's the big gentleman who visited last weekend and is committed to Oregon.
Jaquan McRoy?
Yep, that he's going to be impacted by this move much. Obviously, O'Boyle didn't follow Coach Prime from Jackson, right?
No.
Yeah,
He was
so
at Kent State with Sean Lewis.
It's not like Tyler Brown's impacted by
Exactly.
this. I mean, and already, Van Wells, Tank have transferred out. Like, there's going to be a lot of turnover. Shouldn't really impact things much. And, face value, given the problems there were with the O-line.
Right.
With all due respect, to change doesn't
sure.
sound like the worst thing.
No, I mean, we saw this coming when it was rumored that Talon Chandler would be flipping from Colorado to Missouri. That ended up happening. I mean, I interviewed him sitting in this chair and asked him why he came to see you, and he said because of Sean Lewis and Bill O'Boyle, basically.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But Darian Hagan also followed, and this one had people freaking out today.
Yeah.
So Darian Hagan,
Because Hagan, we thought, like we just said about Ryan, that he was here for the Buffs.
yes, and he's a Buff for life.
He's a Buff for life, Buff legend.
Absolutely.
One of the all-time greats, and then has been at the program for a long time. I think dating back to at least the McIntyre era,
yeah.
if not prior to that. So, I mean, we're talking 2015, 2016, prior to that.
I'll pull it up exactly, but as you mentioned, was a Colorado quarterback for basically their heyday.
Yep.
Joined the staff in 2005 as an offensive assistant. Became running backs coach from 2006 to 2010. Director of player personnel 2011, 2012. Director of player development 2013 and 2015. And was running backs coach going back to 2016 until last season.
Yeah, so he's been involved in the program for almost 20 years since his playing days.
He was retained when Coach Prime came in this time last year.
Right.
His new title was Executive Director of Community Engagement and Outreach / Football Ambassador. He's been helping with like the Big 12 transition team and all that. Obviously, because he's a legacy Buff.
Yeah.
But he's gone. And some people really freaked out about this because they felt this was like when you see players people like this go who have been tied to the community and just the school for a long time, it's reason to sound the alarms.
Right.
But he wasn't on the coaching staff last year. He wasn't recruiting last year.
Yeah, right. That does make a huge difference. That's a really important note. It was more of a transition year for him. Mm-hmm. He was more of an ambassador.
Yes.
And I'm not sure that is what he really wanted to do ultimately.
Right. Chris asked if he was Hankerson's recruiter. He was. He was a big fan of Anthony Hankerson.
Yeah.
I remember I interviewed him before the season, and he told me I wouldn't be surprised if Anthony Hankerson starts. And at this point, we were like, wait, we've got, Alton McCaskill, Cavassier Smoke. Anthony Hankerson ended up starting quite a bit this year.
Yeah.
So we'll see. He's gone now. But good for him. I'm sure he wants to coach.
It's really great. I think it says a lot that after just 1 year with Sean Lewis, that connection was strong enough for him to, go and be his running back coach. And I think San Diego State's going to be a really intriguing opportunity for him.
And he gets to live in San Diego, California now.
No doubt.
I mean, going from Boulder to San Diego, that's about the only way I think you can upgrade.
Right. It's true. Good for him. And it's another opening in this offensive coaching staff that's going to look quite different. You're going to have quite a few new names between O-line, running back, obviously the OC. There's going to be lots of turnover.
There is. And we will get answers.
That's right.
I promise you we will get answers. What else do we got? We had 2 players enter the portal. Dante Capolongo and Cole Boschia. Both guys were walk-ons. I had a lot of people, when I put it out yesterday, walk-on players. Dante Capolongo is a local kid. I think he played for Dakota Ridge out here. And then Cole Boschia was like making some plays in the well-offs during the offseason and stuff.
Hell yeah.
I think Jimmy Horn actually said that he was a player that stood out to him during like the early days of camp and stuff. But anyways, they hit the portal.
2 paisans.
Huh?
2 paisans, 2 Italian names. You know, it's sad to see them go. We'll have to replenish the Italian well, I think, after Capolungo and Basha left. But doesn't change the Scully numbers.
No, they're walk-ons.
Just the number of Italians on the roster. So we do need to get those numbers up. That is reason for concern, actually.
Maybe you can help out in that department.
I will try my best. I used to work in Boulder because I was one of the few Italians in Boulder that they could find to translate. So
we need you back.
Yeah, that community. I need to strengthen it up.
And then we've got 3 players who have been offered, I think all today, actually.
Oh, wow. You only gave me 1 on the list, so I'm intrigued to hear
the other 2 happened when I was sitting down there trying to eat lunch before this show.
Yeah.
So the first one is former Pitt defensive lineman Samuel Okunlola.
Hell yeah.
Okunlola?
Dude, nailed it. I love it. From Brockton, Massachusetts.
I would have said it the exact same if Ryan was on the show, and I would have got laughed at for just questioning my ability. Anyways, 6'4", 245 pounds though, as a defensive lineman.
I think you've buried the lead. Freshman, who in his first year in the ACC already had 6 tackles for a loss, 5 sacks, 20 tackles total, and then has that size as well.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I've really liked Coach Prime and his staff, is the ability to find these kind of guys who are popping, maybe exceeding expectation as underclassmen at, high, at the Power 5 level to then go out and target. I like that.
So, yeah.
Feels like more of an edge than a D-line.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to get at when I mentioned the size thing. I think this is someone that ideally you play from the 5 tech out.
Yep.
You're not really hoping that 6'4", 245 can hold down in the 1 or 3 tech. So.
Right. Though there are plenty of defenses in the Big 12 who run that 3-3-5 up front and have guys like...
We didn't see too much of that from Charles Kelly this year, though.
No, Charles Kelly knows best. Let's hope.
He does.
Okay. Who are the other 2?
Next guy is former TCU wide receiver Cordell Russell.
Ooh.
His Instagram name is Baby T.O.
All in already.
6'4", 210 pounds.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Big boy. We were talking about the big outside wide receivers to replace Xavier Weaver on the show yesterday.
Yes. Big boy and big time recruit from last year. From the 2023 class, this guy was a 247 Sports Composite 4-star, the 100th overall player, 18th overall wide receiver.
Wow.
He entered the portal, I believe, like 4 days ago.
After just 1 year, huh?
After just 1 year.
Okay.
He entered the portal about 4 days ago, and I don't think I've seen any other offers he's posted but this Colorado offer.
Is he doing the Riley Leonard, a no contact?
I don't know.
A no contact transfer? Like, please leave me alone. I'm going to Colorado.
Man, I try to track
awesome.
as much of this as I can, but the no contact clauses, you kind of just lose me there. You're in the portal at that point.
Sure. Well, Jake, these would be really nice pickups because you're kind of committed to each other for the long term.
Exactly.
Sophomore season, you transfer, you're going to lose a year. Like, okay, let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this. That'd be fun. What did you do last year at TCU?
Not much. Not
Okay.
anything, really.
Okay. So better for us.
Yeah, I mean, TCU, they hit the portal as well. I think they grabbed a few wide receivers. They obviously didn't have a great year either. So,
shots fired.
I mean, Buffs beat them.
Buffs did beat them. I watched that game.
Still the highlight of the season.
No doubt.
But man, what a highlight it was, let me tell you.
The best. Okay, and you got one more.
I got one more. Colorado offers former Michigan State offensive guard Kevin Wigginton II.
What? Okay, tell me everything.
This man is 6'5", 320 pounds. How does that sound?
He sounds big.
He played in 4 games as a redshirt freshman in 2022. Mostly special teams. Made academic All Big Ten honoree in 2022. I don't really have 2023 stats, obviously. But he's hit the portal. He was a 2021 recruit. 247 Sports Composite 3-star, 1,404th overall, 86 overall interior offensive lineman from Princeton, New Jersey.
So would he be a graduate?
No. He was he redshirted, or he was a true freshman, I think, in 2021. He took a redshirt in 2021, so he was a redshirt freshman last year. So he'd be a redshirt sophomore this year.
Okay.
So
Well,
I guess going into being a redshirt junior.
That eases things a little bit. Not like I've super highly touted recruit.
Not super highly recruited, but a big player.
Yeah, big body.
Let's see. Rivals
sure.
had him pretty highly ranked, actually. I don't know. These rankings, I think, have changed a little. I think I'm seeing portal rankings.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Don't confuse your portal rankings with your regular rankings.
Okay, no. So portal rankings is the 84th offensive lineman in the class. So not highly touted, no. But we need offensive linemen.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. I would just warn against maybe settling with offensive linemen because,
I mean, look.
maybe that happened a bit last year.
It happened a bit
Bless
last
you
year.
again to Alyssa.
Bless you again. But it also happened at a lower level. Like, we were recruiting primarily FCS, JUCO, offensive linemen. And
Yeah, that's fair.
They do have a JUCO offensive lineman coming in still, but these are Power 5 kids now.
Yeah. And more eligibility left, which you like.
Yes.
More-
And you're doing this without an offensive line coach.
I know. I mean, 2 of the 3 commits you just mentioned are offensive commits.
Yeah.
And yet there isn't necessarily an offensive staff in place.
Well, even going back to Okunlola, the Pitt defensive lineman that we were talking about.
That's right.
We keep talking about Warren Sapp coming. I mean, there's some uncertainty there as well. Still sending out offers
He
and
is
stuff.
a defensive end.
Yes.
And Nick Williams, the defensive end coach.
He's not even, yeah.
He's at Syracuse.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So the machine keeps rolling.
It does. It's true. It's true, Jake. It's true.
Look, man, it's all about Coach Prime and this recruiting staff. These Corey Phillips, Coach Box, the guys who actually run the scouting department and are doing the dirty work, going through all these portal players, all these recruits, and finding who is actually worthy of being offered.
Yeah.
That's still in place.
It'd
And
be
that's
an
arguably the
intense
most
scouting
important
job.
part of it all.
No kidding. And I mean, they've always impressed me for their eye in recruiting and like talent acquisition for sure.
I mean, they did some great things last year, man.
Yeah.
I'm still expecting to get some great players this year.
As you should. No doubt. No doubt.
That's it for recruiting today.
Okay. Great.
That's
Tune
all we
in
got.
tomorrow for more recruiting stuff.
Tune back tomorrow.
Yep. It'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll have some guests on the show tomorrow, but we will also talk some recruiting as well.
Guests on the show.
Guests on the
Oh
show.
my gosh. Wow.
Shout out
Okay.
to our friends at Hestra Job
I'm
Gloves.
tuning in for this one.
They've been doing it for 85 years, over 85 years actually. Don't trash your good ski gloves, shoveling, doing outdoor cold labor, changing a flat tire. You need high quality work gloves. That's where Hestra Job Gloves comes in.
Oh yeah.
They're durable, they're comfortable, they're very
Yes,
warm.
sir.
Made from high-end materials. They last forever. And right now you can go to www.hestrajob.us and use the code DNVRJOB
There he is.
to get 30% off your next purchase. And anyone looking to supply their team with high-quality work gloves at a bulk rate can email Josh Jacobson at josh@hestrausa.com. We haven't really needed the gloves yet, but man, it's coming.
It's coming. It's coming. Yep. I actually think midweek it's supposed to snow or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
We had a good run while it lasted.
We did. We did.
And then shout out to MSU Denver. Turn your goals into greatness at MSU Denver.
Do it.
We have quite a few people here at DNVR who have gone back to MSU Denver and gotten their degrees.
Got a couple.
And courses are available for online, in-person, or both. Excellence awaits you at MSU Denver. They got 90-plus majors. You can even create your own. Degrees ranging from business to hospitality, aviation to the arts, education to healthcare. You can start or restart your college education at MSU Denver. Spring 2024 applications are open. Again, create your own career, turn your dreams into reality at MSU Denver. 90-plus majors and 10 graduate programs with courses online, in person, or both. Learn more at msudenver.edu.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay.
The big national story of the day, though.
Yeah.
I'm reading this from Yahoo Sports. Ross Dellinger wrote this up.
Uh-huh.
Headline, NCAA proposing new college athletics subdivision rooted in direct athlete compensation. Are you ready for this?
Yeah. Strap in tight, guys. Strap in tight.
This is the beginning of what could be a seismic wave going through college.
I know.
Not just college football, college athletics as a whole.
Oh, man. It's just, we see this coming from far away and we hypothesize about it. And it's just tough when it's there at your doorstep to see, like, man, the future's here, you know?
Reality's knocking.
Oh, boy. Okay. What's this look like, Jake?
All right. So, straight from the article, NCAA President Charlie Baker is planning to introduce this week a proposal to create a new subdivision within Division I that grants certain schools more autonomy around policy making and permits them to compensate athletes in a new and profound way.
Yes. So the big way of compensating athletes is the school can pay them directly.
Basically, yes.
Essentially as almost like employees.
Via a trust fund.
And then there's talk of providing that trust fund with $30,000 per player per season being in there.
Per sport.
At minimum, too. Oh, per sport. Holy cow.
Because these...
Now, that's an important detail,
yes.
Isn't it?
So, it's hidden in here. Let me find it.
Wow.
Here it is.
So, of course, anyone who's good at math, that's $120,000 per athlete on the 4-year Scully. Right
exactly.
There.
So, entry into the subdivision requires a school to invest at minimum $30,000 per year per athlete into what is termed an enhanced educational trust fund for at least half of a school's countable athletes. Schools will determine when athletes receive the amount, which for 4-year athletes will total at least $120,000. Again, quick maths, good job. Schools must continue to abide by the framework of Title IX, assuring that 50% of the investment must be directed towards women athletes as well. So this would be...
very important. Okay.
Yeah. Basically...
Wowzers.
This new subdivision will remain under the umbrella of the NCAA, and its members will continue to compete for NCAA championships with others in Division I. Under the proposal, the NCAA maintains oversight of the existing national championship model across all Division I sports except FBS football, which continues to operate under the rubric of the college football playoff. Is everyone still hanging with me here? Yep, I know this is a lot. It's very confusing, but...
Yep.
The model gives the educational institutions with the most visibility, the most financial resources, and the biggest brands an opportunity to choose to operate with a different set of rules that more accurately reflect their scale and their operating model. This is what Baker writes, the president of the NCAA, in this letter.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Lots to unpack there.
Lots to unpack.
But essentially, it's the move towards
semi-professionalism.
Fox, ESPN conference, semi-professionalism. What would then be left of the FBS, they would still be able to offer NIL dollars to those athletes. Mm-hmm. Presumably more towards kind of more conventional NIL, right? Where it's like, oh, I'm the star of the team in New Mexico. I'm allowed to get money from the local pizza parlor who wants to me to be their main endorser for that advertising season or whatever. I'm not precluded from advertising opportunities that may come my way, but the schools also not having to break their back to fund money and all this.
Yes.
What it does to the G5, the group of five, how those schools want to get involved, how that's going to impact realignment is going to be really interesting. It mentions the Power Four already as kind of, you would presume that's where you would start with. And that just makes a whole lot of sense. This 12-team playoff has already got me thinking, like, boy, that G5 auto bid is going to be really hard to stay alive in a 12-team playoff. Because already, like, this year, it's like, yeah, you're excluding Ole Miss, Penn State, or LSU, one of those schools, for what, Liberty? Like,
that would be the highest ranking G5.
That's not gonna survive. 2 years of that happening, and the Penn States, the LSUs, and the Ole Miss will make sure that doesn't happen again, you know.
So that's what's mentioned in this article too, though. It says all schools are eligible to join the subdivision. The proposal would likely force a formal split within the FBS of the Power 5 or soon to be Power 4.
Yeah. Would all the Power 4 be in on it? Would the TV revenue be enough to just support that? You really need to start looking at the financial implications. Coach Prime's certainly going to be coaching at a program that does that. And also, do we want the NCAA doing this? I mean, this whole deal, well, it's intriguing and it's a lot of what we saw coming anyways. This deal in a lot of ways strikes me as kind of a Hail Mary by the NCAA to be like, hey, we can house this system under our model and still make it work. Because, of course, they'd love to still get that cut from their biggest revenue generator. And I don't know. Do we even need the NCAA at all for college football at this point?
I don't think so.
They're useless. They only ruin things.
Well, and
they only complicate things.
For sure. They're also in this massive lawsuit right now, I think, with the House. It's over $3 billion in retroactive NIL and broadcasting revenue payments. Basically, just kids saying, you're getting all these media deals and we didn't get any of it. It's what we've been headed towards, and this lawsuit's already kind of, as it says in the article, it's chipped away at the NCAA's bedrock of amateurism. Like, these aren't amateurs anymore at this point.
Oh, no, they aren't. Yeah, so that would be my biggest thing is, like, I'm not sure you want to buy into a model that's still overseen by the NCAA. If you're willing to embrace this kind of fundamental change, then why not kind of break it out on their own? And I mean, the pick and choosy part of it, like, hey, you want to make this financial commitment, just break off and join this new subdivision. What's that going to look like for G5 teams, for Power 5 teams who aren't ready to make this jump? You know, you're suggesting this split without thinking of what the greater implications will be.
Right.
And, like, at a certain point, we need to try and stay tethered within those rivalries, within those matchups and traditions that got us into this from the start. It's
all up in the air. It's all a mess right now.
It is. Intrigued by it, though. Certainly intrigued by it. And
it never stops delivering. I'll say that.
Buffs have to get in on this if it's happening.
Well, I mean, just look at the way that Coach Prime's been able to help increase revenue just across the board for this university. They will definitely be a player in this new format if this is what comes down.
Right. And that's the big difference is now you're not relying on NIL collective dollars.
Yep.
You're able to simply pay the athletes off the money you are generating.
Yes.
Off all the merch you're selling, all the tickets you're selling, you know, your increased sponsorship TV deals, and on and on and on. And that would open things up significantly for the Buffs.
So just a few more paragraphs
and also,
before we move on.
Could this mean stuff like Board of Regents and Colorado legislators, not impacting the pay of assistant coaches and stuff like that, which was an issue for a gajillion years at Colorado before Prime arrived and stuff like that. It could open a lot of avenues and truly make this, where the compensation is what you'd expect from the second most popular football league in the world.
Mm-hmm. So at the end of this article from Ross Dellinger, Yahoo Sports says, even within Baker's new model, congressional action is likely necessary, sports law experts told Yahoo Sports. A congressional bill that addresses employment is paramount to college leaders. Several different avenues put college athletes on a path to be ruled as employees. A case in Pennsylvania, currently in an appeals process, could grant college athletes the ability to earn minimum wage. There are also 2 employment complaints that have been made to the National Labor Relations Board. In that letter that Charlie Baker wrote, the contextual environment is equally challenging as the courts and other public entities continue to debate reform measures that in many cases would seriously damage parts or all of college athletics. Basically, they're just scrambling. I mean, I think they're feeling the heat. They've obviously got multiple lawsuits at the national and state level that they've had to deal with.
Yeah, and I mean, the NIL has completely neutered the NCAA and the actual impact that it has, Yep. I mean, it's basically a fugazi institution that oversees nothing.
Yep.
Like, now that we've cut through that illusion that they actually policed anything, I mean, it's kind of opened the floodgates, so.
It's time, though.
Oh, it is time.
It is time.
Yeah, no shit. It really is.
Okay, so just in, we've got some awards. Travis Hunter has won All Pac-12 First Team Defensive Back and Second Team All-Purpose Player. Who in the hell could possibly win All-Purpose Player over Travis Hunter?
Is there a list?
I just checked my email. I don't have an email, but the Buffs football Twitter account has graphics made, but I don't have an email with all this, so I don't know.
Okay, I'll try to look it up for you.
Thank you. Also, all Pac-12 honorable mentions. Dylan Edwards gets the honorable mention for Freshman of the Year. Shedeur Sanders gets the honorable mention for quarterback. And then also all Pac-12 honorable mentions for Mark Fassett as the punter and Shiloh Sanders at safety.
Oh, that's good. Nice, Shiloh.
So there you go. Have you found the all Pac-12 team?
Yeah, I have. So let me just scroll through these ginormous awards. Give me just a sec, Jake, okay? All-purpose. Where are you, all-purpose? Okay. A drum roll, please. Sion Vaki from Utah. Tell us, Jake, what's going through your mind? What are you thinking?
Did we just not watch Travis Hunter play football this year or what?
So what does Vaki do on both sides? A little safety running back?
I guess. I don't know.
Oh. That's pretty lame.
Where'd you find this?
A little website called Pac12.com. We should actually reach out and try to buy their IP. I wonder if they're selling.
It might be available, bro.
Right?
There might be a lot of Pac-12 assets available here very soon.
Honestly, we should contact Oregon State directly. Connor Johnson, if you have any contacts, holler at your boys. We might be interested.
Offensive Player of the Year is Bo Nix. Defensive Player of the Year, Leatu Latu.
Hell yeah.
Freshman Offensive Player of the Year, Noah Fafita. Freshman Defensive Player, Cade Uluwave from Cal. Coach of the Year, Kalen DeBoer.
Sounds right.
Not bad.
Okay.
I mean, first team quarterback being Bo Nix is... It's an argument that we don't have to get into right now.
Yeah, no, Penix might have deserved it over him. I'd agree with that stance. The other Arizona wide receiver, Cowing, not making second team is pretty outrageous, if you ask me.
Former Buff Brendan Rice makes second team offense at wide receiver.
Yep.
Looks about it, though.
Okay.
All right, chat.
Good stuff.
If you guys are enjoying the show, hit the like button. Also, subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We greatly appreciate your 5-star review.
Yep.
Thank you for all the compliments once again today.
Oh, lots of compliments?
On the haircut.
Oh.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, well deserved.
Shout out to Red Hawk Roofing. Denver's best roofers have joined the DNVR team. They do their work with quality materials. They've got decades of experience, and they've also got a quick response time. And they are huge DNVR fans themselves.
Yes.
Hit them up for a free no-obligation roof and property inspection. It also comes with a free in-depth photo report for all inspections. Winter is coming, so don't wait to take care of any issues before the big storms hit. If you're looking for a new roof over your home or business, be sure to check out Red Hawk Roofing at redhawkroofing.com and tell them DNVR sent you. And then shout out to our friends at Game Time, our great friends at Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. What you see is what you get. No surprise fees. It's all right there when you select your ticket. Wherever you are, whatever city you're in, sporting events, concerts, whatever's going on in your city, check out Game Time. Find exclusive flash deals and sponsored deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use that code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Great deals on Buffs basketball right now.
What do you see?
$9 for this game against NCU on Friday. As low as $14 against UTT. And then once we get into Pac-12 play after Christmas, you're finding, in the 30 to 40 range. Yeah, you want to see Bronny come to town?
Mm-hmm.
As low as $85, but they're only going to get lower on Game Time if you know the deal. So yeah, that's great.
We did have another offer come through as well.
Whoa.
Marlon Jones Jr. has been offered. He's appeared in 32 games for the Eastern Washington Eagles. Made 18 starts. This is entering this year, by the way. So made 18 starts, tallied 124 tackles, 6 interceptions, and a forced fumble.
Linebacker?
Safety, I believe.
Okay.
Cornerback is what he's listed at.
Oh, all right.
6'1", 188, redshirt senior.
Wow.
I'm assuming he's a graduate. He was a preseason All-Big Sky selection going into this season.
Oh.
Was a third-team All-Big Sky selection in 2022.
Man.
So there you go.
That seems like a nice little pickup. I mean, offer,
Yes.
yes. It's not.
That's it for now, I believe.
Good point by Grizz here about how could you not make Xavier Weaver at least an honorable mention.
That's a great question as well.
Was one of the top receivers in the country for a while in receiving yards.
We do have another offer, actually.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
What? Lay it on us.
I'm trying to figure it out on the fly here.
Okay.
This is former Michigan State offensive lineman Ethan Boyd, 6'7", 320.
Wow.
Out of East Lansing, Michigan, so a hometown kid. Just 2022 stats. He was a redshirt freshman, played in 10 games, primarily on special team. Another academic All-Big Ten selection.
Wow.
As a recruit, so was a 2021 recruit, 247 Sport Composite 3-star, 669th overall player, 54th overall offensive tackle.
Okay.
So another Michigan State offensive lineman has been offered by the Buffs.
Yeah. As the exodus from all of Mel Tucker's guys kind of commences. Interesting. Okay. Got another one?
I'm trying to make sure I don't. I think we're good. Oh, no, there's another one. Give me a minute here. The name is Deshaun Hanukkah. This is a tight end from Iowa State Cyclones.
Yeah.
Matt
Campbell
listed
guy.
At 6'6", 238.
Okay. Sounds
played
like a
in-
receiving tight end.
Yeah, with that size. In 2022, played in all 12 games, seeing action at tight end and special teams. Led all Cyclone tight ends with 17 receptions for 244 yards. Also had 4 touchdown catches. I'll try and pull up his stats for this year.
It's an intriguing pass catcher to add to the mix.
So look, we're even recruiting tight ends without a tight ends coach.
Yeah. Incredible.
Listed now at 6'6", 245. Looks like he did not play this last year. Interestingly enough.
Very interesting.
Let's see. So this is an article from early November. Says he's unlikely to return. Oh Lord. Involved in some gambling problem.
Oh, no.
Or a gambling probe.
Oh, gosh.
Yep.
Okay. Well, it sounds like the Buffs are willing to take a gamble on him.
Allegedly placed a bet on Iowa State basketball.
Thanks, Alyssa.
Allegedly placed a bet on Iowa State basketball. Pleaded not guilty. This article came out on November 8th and said, effective immediately.
Oh, my gosh.
It says effective immediate reinstatement guidelines for student athletes who wager on teams at their school, excluding their own team, will start requiring one season of ineligibility and a loss of 1 year of eligibility. So that might be why he did not play this last year.
Whew. Wow.
Yeah.
We are learning so much. We're Googling so much stuff on this show. Second half, research heavy. Lots of Googling. Okay.
I just want to make sure that we're good again.
That we're good again? No more commits? Okay.
Offers. These are just offers.
Right. No more offers occur.
I mean, if it
your
was
offer
commits,
app says we're good?
Yeah. The offer app. The old
Good.
Twitter machine.
Good.
Yes.
Okay, good.
All right. Let's get to it.
You ready to see how the people are doing?
Yeah. How are you guys doing?
All right.
I told you. Do it. Jake and Dre, did you guys see Jason Whitlock's interview with 2 former Buffs? So he spoke to Owen Carey.
Uh-huh.
And Owen Carey has talked a lot last year about the truth of the recruiting process and all this. And
He was promoting his website.
yeah.
Yeah.
And well, he's obviously upset about what happened at Colorado this year
Not
because
happy.
he was one of the guys that was forced out.
Yeah.
Look, man, I think that we all know the certain agenda that Jason Whitlock has.
Yeah.
And it's obvious that Owen Carey isn't too fond of Coach Prime and what's going on at CU.
Yeah. Because of that agenda.
Yeah. And look, he didn't play. I don't think he's got too much to say really about what happened this year with this team. I don't think he was very involved with this team. So to me, I saw it, I watched the video, and I just went on with my day. There's not much to be made about that, I think.
Yeah. Probably the thing that's most asinine is this angle that tries to make Coach Prime seem different or in some ways like a hypocrite because he's a black coach and doing this to black
is a
athletes
hypocrite.
when Jason Whitlock is.
Yes.
But, making Coach Prime seem like a hypocrite when this is, exactly what happens in NCAA scholarship athletics at all levels in all sports. And it is harsh. It is horrible. And, that's the system, though. Like, these coaches are also getting fired and turned over, as soon as something goes wrong. And, that's the system that's in place. It needs to be harsh. It needs to be quick and kind of brutal in some ways. And
I wouldn't read into this any more
it's
than
non-news, though.
No, any more than we talked about that article on Friday about the guy literally from Nebraska who went in and interviewed a Nebraska Community College offensive lineman who was upset about what happened at CU.
Yeah.
If they were good enough to contribute to this team this year, they would have been given the chance and would have been able to. These players were not good enough to play at Colorado, to play in the Power 5. I mean, if you're upset, you're upset, but that's the reality of this whole thing.
Yeah. And I mean, again, Owen Carey started a website, so like he's definitely trying to amplify a certain message. Sure. And I mean, I just think you need to like remember where everyone's coming from. And in this particular interview, I question the motives on both the interviewer and interviewee. Let's put it that way.
Yes. FPSD with the super chat. The new Amazon show about this past season comes out on the 7th with the thinking emoji.
Yeah,
talking about Jordan, emoji. Talking about Jordan Seaton. I don't know, man. Maybe. Personally, I don't think Jordan Seaton is too involved in the Coach Prime documentary to make him want to commit around that time, but who knows? Maybe it is.
You are on the doc in some capacity. Maybe. Just a yes or a no. So you understand that like what's going to be featured on the Prime doc, most of it is stuff that's been filmed months and months and months and months ago. Now, it would be baller and an all-timer if the doc started with like a Jordan Seaton announcement. That would be just incredible.
It'd be crazy.
You never know. I would gladly take another well-off video where Coach Prime is dancing and giving the "you thought you could have what we have" speech. That is my favorite. That to me is the peak of that like video's Prime coming back. That's the greatest video of all time. I think about it often. You know, even in our own lives, like you thought you could have what we got. So I'll take anything, but we all love a good thinking emoji.
Yes. To go back to the Owen Carey thing and like the former Buffs thing, someone asked about Michael Harrison and why that's different. Michael Harrison was like willing to change positions, like obviously did stuff to earn playing time in the spring game. Like a lot of these guys who have been interviewed by Jason Whitlock or whoever weren't even getting playing time in the spring though.
Right.
Like Michael Harrison showed something throughout.
Yeah.
And he proved it on the field this year. He was a contributor to this football team.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, they had 2 starters on the O-line. They had Michael Harrison. Charlie was in the mix. I mean, obviously T. Woods. Like there were plenty of guys that got a shot
Marvin
and stuck around. I mean, you were talking about Hankerson and the, not just players, coaches who were retained, what have you. Like it was.
Look, man, the fact of the matter is the talent of this roster going back a few years, but the 2022 roster was not Power 5 FBS level. And in order to get to being a Power 5 FBS level roster, you got to get rid of the old kids.
It's a fair point.
There's a reason there's only 3 scholarship players from that team left on this team.
Yeah, and you need to free up scholarship spots, too. That's the thing you can't forget. Yeah.
Kamada, when can we expect Buffs Colorado women or men basketball team on DNVR podcast? Hopefully before March Madness. That's going to be a little tough because they are in season right now. But we can. I mean, there's going to be media availability. I'll be able to go down and practice at some point and probably grab an interview or 2.
Yeah,
we can make that happen.
It's a long winter.
Yes,
there'll be plenty of time.
Big TZ, what's up, man? Concerned Shermer never called Signals 2-man team. By 2-man team, are you referring to Travis and Shador?
Shermer never called signals, as in Pat Shermer's never called plays?
I think, well, if this is what he's saying, what happened this last year when Sean Lewis was demoted, Sean Lewis was kept as like the guy who's signaling in the plays.
Yeah.
But Shermer was the one calling the plays in the booth.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, I'm not concerned about that. Pat Shermer's coached a lot of football. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they'll figure that out. You can find assistant coaches who can do that.
Yes.
This is a very small thing. Yeah. That'd be an easy fix. No
Appreciate
doubt.
the super chat, though, Big TZ.
Yeah, I love you, Big TZ.
Our guy.
Thank you.
Kamada says, any recruitment from the state of Colorado, we need homegrown talent to instill pride. I mean, they're going to find players wherever they have to. I think that's what's good about this coaching staff is they don't just focus on getting the hometown kids. They want talent from everywhere.
Yeah. They just want talent.
Exactly.
Yeah. They want talent, for sure.
I mean, there is some Colorado talent, of course, but those guys always go on to be, the Blake Purches. They go get recruited by Oregon and all the top schools. Gage Ginther to Tennessee. Like, they're legitimate prospects that get recruited by everyone.
Yeah,
so
they're national recruits.
Yeah, so it's not just a shoe-in that because they're in the same state as CU, that CU just has an inside track.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you like to develop that pipeline. That'd obviously be the best course of action.
Yeah, that is a pipeline that needs to be developed right now, right? Like Coach Prime came in with some other connections to other pipelines,
exactly.
And that's something he's building up.
All in due time.
Yeah.
Curtis, you guys think Coach Prime is going to make some announcements or coaches and recruits at the event tomorrow on campus? I mean, he could. I don't think that's... He hasn't shown a track record of doing stuff like that, though. A lot of stuff just gets announced through the media. Players just announce their commitments.
A respectful no to you on that question, Curtis, but I think it's a good one.
I mean, it could happen.
Yeah, no, I don't foresee it happening. 3 to 10 days, though, Jake. I keep thinking about 3 to 10 days.
I know.
You know?
But the thing is, what I think at least is that Coach Prime... This is an event for the documentary and for the sports person of the world thing. This isn't like a football press conference where he's going to, all right, here are the moves you've all been waiting for. This is the commit you've been, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't seem like the setting for me to make those type of announcements.
100%. I think that's the proper read.
Biz says 9 guys in the portal right now. I think it's around there.
We counted them out yesterday.
We did.
Van Tank, Hank.
Oh, I got it right here.
Michael, but you got to remember in that number,
the walk-ons.
The walk-ons who, maybe you want to include in that, but they don't really matter towards the scholarship numbers they open up because they don't open up any scholarships.
Exactly.
They were walk-ons.
So
that's something to keep in mind.
I think in terms of actual scholarships that have opened up the last few days, 1, 2... Well, this is going back to the 27th. So when Caleb Fourier entered the portal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Looks like 7.
Okay.
The rest have been walk-ons.
That sounds right.
Sean with the super chat says, keep an eye on Phil Lodeholt as CU offensive line coach. You remember that name, don't you?
I don't.
He played in the NFL for a while.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Played college football at Oklahoma. Played for the Minnesota Vikings from 2009 to 2015. Was a second-round pick.
Yeah, I remember him as a Viking. Sean's always suggesting great former players to us. That was Sean who did that last time,
Sean
right?
knows his stuff, man.
Sean does know his stuff.
And then Big TZ again says, chat, show love to the funky dope producer, Miss A. Hell yeah. Give it up for Alyssa. Thumbs up in the chat for producer Alyssa.
Yep.
For keeping us on track
Yes.
and making us look good.
Yeah, always. Great
Thank
work,
you, Alyssa. All right. Anything else?
No.
All right.
I think that's everything.
I'm going to go back to feeling like the Mr. Krabs meme, trying to process all this information.
Thursday we'll know a little more.
Man, chat, Buff Nation, hang in there, y'all. I promise. Hang in there.
Yes.
This thing is like a pendulum, man. It's going to come back the other way. And it's just the nature of the transfer portal. You kind of just got to go through the bad news before you get the good news. Same with the coaching carousel. Coaches always got to leave for you to hire more coaches. It's just how it works.
Great point. It's a great point.
We'll be okay. All right. See you guys tomorrow. Let's go Buffs.
Let's go.
We all silly like the mayor.